Oh, hi there.
Hey, everybody.
This is Cooper and Gary from eCigology.com, here to bring you another review. And today we've got the Z-Atty Pro. It's a fancy atomizer. That's that big thing on the end of my Provape.
And it's rebuildable.
Indeed. Rebuildable, indeed.
So what this is it's a tank system and a rebuildable atomizer, kind of all in one. It's designed to allow you to buy one unit and have it last you for a really long time, and it's supposed to give you one of the better vapes out there that you can buy.
Right. It doesn't have a typical wick made out of that fabric, whatever that stuff is. Do you know what it's called?
Silica.
Silica?
Silica.
Is it really silica?
It's silica.
Well, those fabric strands they collect all the juice, and the silica combines with the pudding cups, and it gets all clogged up and burnt, and that's why you got to throw your Addies away, because
it tastes terrible.
I mean, you can wash them, and that's fine. That helps a little bit, but ultimately these things are really great because they have a stainless steel mesh wick.
It's like a screen door that's been rolled up into a tube, kind of.
Right.
Probably
fancier than that. Without the wood part, just the screen. But yeah, it's rolled up and folded like a Japanese sword. They fold the... So anyway, this is the wick that does the wicking of the juice. And you have like 25 feet of coil that they send to you. So you basically... It comes pre-set up. And... But when it goes bad, you can just cut some of the coil and make your own little coil and put it on there. It's really pretty simple.
Well, and it probably uses like 2 inches or 3 inches of coil when you make one. So 25 feet. How many coils is that? That's like 3 million.
Well, by my maths,
3 million.
It's approximately 4 to 5 million. No, it's probably like, well, we should probably look up the facts before we start doing a review, but it's 3 to 4 inches or so. That's
really
said.
Long. It's super long.
Yeah. It's average.
All right, what were we talking
for a coil? For a coil.
Right. Here's what we're trying to say, though, is that between the steel mesh screen door and the 4 million miles of coil that they send you, you build your own atomizer, and it produces a pretty good vape. It's pretty good.
And they do actually send you quite a few of the wicks. I think
it's like 5 of the bigger ones and 5 of the smaller ones.
Right. They give you short ones and small and long ones, and
no, it's the girth that
Is it
they're all the same length.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So some are bigger around.
Naturally.
Some are a little more slender.
Yep. And
takes all types.
They serve their purpose,
I don't know what the purposes are yet. Apparently it's...
I think it's
throat hit, is what I've heard.
Yeah, I think it's throat hit.
Here's the thing. I didn't really want to like this atomizer all that much, to be honest with you guys. It's a pretty pricey unit. Now, it looks amazing. We'll show you a little close-up of it.
Yeah. Well, that's also arguable. It does...
Amazing.
It does look cool. It looks like it's from the future, and it also looks like a biological weapon that you need to keep from detonating or something like that.
Yeah, or like a serious drug.
Like, do you remember The Rock
device
with Sean Connery?
Oh yeah.
And Nick Cage?
Absolutely.
In the cage.
The cage.
And you remember those he's trying to get rid of the weapons in that movie?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. I kind of opened it up and I was like, oh boy. Taking the normal battery, which is passable in public.
Maybe.
And then you do this.
Yeah, dude.
And so...
It's a solid, 3 or 4 inches longer than it already was.
It's
Use millimeters for the European viewers.
Yeah, it's approximately 3,000 of those units. And converted to centimeters, it is even larger.
It's probably small. Alright, so here's why I think it looks amazing, though. It's the same width as the Provape. So the Z-Atty Pro, as this one is called, There's a couple different versions. This is the Pro. It's made to fit on the Provape and be the same. It like looks like one big unit, you know, and that's pretty cool in my opinion. It's got this little skirt that fits over the rounded top on the Provape.
Which is pretty sweet, actually.
It is sweet, you know, and it's purely aesthetic. It doesn't do anything for function, but it looks cool.
There are some drawbacks about the Z-Atty Pro, in our opinion. One of the drawbacks is, aside from the airy draw, this thing, which is the cover which houses the atomizer coil and the wick, it comes off really easy. It comes off very easy if you let juice get on this O-ring and inside here. So, like, whenever you break the seal, you kind of have to wipe it down, or else it's just going to slip right off.
In fact, I had an experience the other day while Cooper and I were out frisbee golfing. I just received the Z-Atty Pro like Cooper had. I show up at the frisbee golf course, stoked about this setup here. You know, I got my tank full. I'm not going to have to drip in here or refill it the whole time. I got a fresh battery on it. And Cooper looks at me and he's like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "You're an idiot for bringing that out here." And I'm
Rookie.
like, "What are you talking about? This thing's tight." You know, and I'm like going over why I'm proud to have it there. And it wasn't until like 5 minutes into our game when I go to pull this thing out of my pocket and I pull the cap off and I drop it in the dirt and dirt goes inside of the cap and I'm like wiping the dirt out of the cap and then I drop my Provape on the ground and it was just a mess. I mean, this is not something that you want to take out and about with you. And I learned that very quickly that day.
Like, to the office, in the car, should be fine. Still a little inconvenient if you need to put it in your pocket. Yeah. Compared to a normal setup, you know, you just stash it in your pocket, you're good to go, do a few drips, and you're vaping again.
So, yeah, I think as long as you understand, like, this thing's role,
yeah, it's really like the connoisseurs at home, you know, for the best experience possible, use this.
Right.
And, I mean, for the best flavor, and it has killer vapor production.
No,
if you could adjust the draw, this thing would be, like, amazing. I would probably even not tell you anything I thought was bad about it if the draw was perfect.
But I will tell you this, in, you know, to the credit of Zen, apparently they are selling these caps for the top. You can't buy it with the unit. You have to purchase the unit with the open cap, and then you can buy a cap that has a tighter draw.
As far as we're aware of right now.
Right, that's what I've read online. You know, I haven't actually ordered one or anything, but I'm pretty sure that is the case.
Right.
See, that's the weird thing, too, is that the wick is not absorbent at all. It's made out of metal.
Right, so it's really like
it relies on gravity to get the juice from here to here.
And it slowly dribbles on there, and you just have to know that you need that to stay wet if you're going to use it. And so, for me, the way I have to really use this thing is like this. A little awkward, right?
No, you don't look awkward at all. That's pretty much how you always look.
So, the other day I popped on actually earlier tonight, I popped on a 510 because I wanted to sample through a few different juices that we had. And I was like, I couldn't get over that the flavor wasn't, you know, perfect in there. Right. And you really notice the burnt taste that these atomizers have.
Right.
And this is a fairly new atomizer.
Right.
I pretty much keep them for a couple weeks and just toss them now. I don't even deal with trying to save them. I don't know.
Well, and that was like kind of in the middle of our discussion about, you know, this compared to buying 30 atomizers, you know, the value difference there. And then he experienced that, and I was like, really? So I put on an atomizer and I did the same thing, and it was like instant, you know, it was like...
That smells fantastic, by the way.
Did I just burp on you?
Yeah, totally. In my face.
It was like instant, like, affirmation that this thing is worth the money, is what it was.
Well, actually, right before that, he was like, yeah, I don't think it's worth the money.
Right.
And then we kind of went through this thing with the atomizers and the juices, like, oh, yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah, it's like, maybe I can't get a good throw hit.
Yeah.
This juice has no throw hit. This juice tastes like burnt crap.
Yeah, because you forget after you've been using it for a while. So, I'd recommend it to people who are willing to be seen using something that looks like this, that you might get thrown in jail for, possibly. I mean, I think it's cool. I think Gary thinks it's cool.
But
My wife thinks it's retarded.
We're old dogs.
Yeah. Nothing surprises us. We've tried everything under the sun. Also, the rebuildableness of it is epic.
Yeah.
That is so valuable to you, because you do, when you invest in it once and then you buy the wicks and the coil, it's cheap.
Well, and like the coils and wicks that it come with,
you get so much.
Should last you like a year based on like my estimates. And if it doesn't, buying new coils and wicks costs like $4.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
It's like the price of one atomizer to get you through another like 6 months or a year or something.
Right, so it's just like investing in a good unit like the Provape or any of the other great mods that are out there, where you're basically replacing the batteries when they die out, and it's very inexpensive to do that. It's the same thing. So I think over time you definitely get the value back.
Yeah.
The flavor, if you want, if you really care about the flavors, you will love this atomizer. There's nothing that I've ever used that preserves the flavor of the juices.
That's true.
Or shows you them for the first time.
Right.
Than this atomizer.
Yeah. So where do you buy this thing? You go to provape.com. They're the exclusive retailer for this device. It used to be sold at a place called House of Vapes, and I guess it's no longer there. It's just through Provape. That's the Z-Atty Pro, at least.
So, yeah. All in all, I think that Gary and I agree that it's worth purchasing if you have the dough and you're interested in just having a killer vape.
Well, if you want the best vape of your life, this is the unit.
Yeah. And it won't seem like that at first. You'll have to get used to it. But when you do, you'll be like, okay, I think I can enjoy this.
Check out the site, eCigology.com. We'll probably do a written review of this thing pretty soon, kind of summarizing this video for you guys, along with some links on where to buy it and what have you. And peruse around. See what else we have to offer you.
And thanks for watching.